There is a famous trick in magic where a magician has two tubes. The first one is empty. The second one has underneath it a bottle of wine. Okay, actually, we've gone for milk. We've gone for the healthy option. But basically, the idea is staying the same. And they take this first tube and they cover the bottle of wine with it. They make like a magic hand wave over the bottles. They say the magic word, Adjawodjaflanged. And amazingly, the bottle has moved from this tube to this tube here, and it's amazing. It's incredible. And they can do the same again. They can like cover this tube. They can wave the magic hand over the tubes. They can say the magic flaggerwoodled, and now the bottle has indeed vanished from here and is back where it was. Good. It's back where it was in. Right, so this bottle, okay, this bottle, and it goes and it moves to here. There we go. Oh dear. What? No. How? Why? Okay. So anyhow, let's not worry about this bit. This bit doesn't really matter. Let's talk about the Bible. In the Bible, there's a story that this kind of reminds me about because there's this wedding in the Bible where there's a whole load of drink. And everybody's having a wonderful time. They're sort of sitting around and they're eating and they're drinking and they're chatting and they're drinking and they're congratulating the bride on how nice she looks and they're drinking. And strangely, it's kind of a weird thing. They can't quite figure out how this happened. But after a little while, there suddenly seems to be rather less wine than there used to be. And in fact, after they've chatted a bit more and drunk a bit more, there's no wine whatsoever. And this is very embarrassing for the family. Particularly, I personally suspect it was particularly embarrassing for the bride's dad. Because I just imagine, the Bible doesn't say this, but I'm fairly sure that for a few months before this wedding, the bride and her mum would have been planning every last little detail of this wedding. And I suspect that at some point, the dad came up and went, do you want me to do anything? And they kind of looked at each other and went, no, you'll only make a mess of it. No, I won't, goes to Dad. No, I'll be brilliant. Just let me show you. Just give me one thing to do. Okay, says Mum. We'll give you one thing. You can look after the wine. He had one job to do. Disaster. But anyhow, fortunately for the family, Jesus and his mum are there. In this particular story, Jesus' mum seems to be the main character. And Jesus' mum, she realises there's an issue, and she goes over to Jesus and says they've got no more wine. And Jesus says to her, I'm paraphrasing a bit here, but she says to her, Mum, this is not my problem. It's not the exact word he uses, but basically says that. Now, the Bible doesn't say what Mary thought about that reply, but the next thing we know is Jesus is fixing the wine problem. I mean, mums are like that, aren't they? They don't have to say anything. They just give you the look. And suddenly you find yourself doing whatever it was they wanted you to do. So Jesus is fixing the wine problem. And I guess he kind of gathered a few people around. He said, okay, has anybody got any wine? And they go, no, we haven't got any wine. Okay, says Jesus, how about some water? And they go, no, I haven't got any water. Oh, hang on a sec, says this guy. Yeah, wait a sec. Yeah, I've got some milk. No, says Jesus, can't be milk. We need water. Okay, so they look around a bit and they try and find some water. And eventually they turn up some water and Jesus says, okay, let's just start. Keep looking. And they keep looking, and soon they've actually turned up a whole load of water. They've got water in stone jars because they were actually using it to get washed. And they thought, oh, washing water, that'll do. So they have these jars full of water, and Jesus says to them, well, can you go and pour out some of that water? So they go over to the first stone jar and they pour out the water. And as they pour it out, it's turned into wine. And they're going, whoa, that's a bit unusual. And they take this wine to the master of the banquet, and he has a taste. Goes, oh, this is amazing. So he calls over the bridegroom and he says, oh, this is incredible. Most people, they bring out the nice wine first, and then when everybody's a bit drunk, they bring out the cheap stuff. But you have saved the best till last. Now, at that moment, the Bible doesn't go on to say what happens next, but I suspect what probably happened next was that the bridegroom went, really? got to be honest, my dad-in-law's in charge of this, and I did think he'd make a complete mess of the whole thing. But no, this is great. Just a matter of interest, how much have we got? Yeah, it doesn't mention it in the Bible, I'm pretty sure that's it. And they go, well, as it happens, there was quite a lot of water. So it turns out we really do have quite a large amount of wine for you to drink. And the thing I love about this story is that God, when he does something, he does it right. That's one of the things I love about the story. There's a few other things. I love the fact that Jesus did this with water that was being used to make people wash and make people clean. Because in the end, Jesus actually cleans us from our sins. And he does it through his blood. And the other thing I love about this story is that even Jesus had to do what his mum told him to.